Ray Chernesky here. Just talking about what's on everybody's mind, the Prince passing. But I feel it a little bit harder whenever you kind of, there's a passing of a musician that you kind of played with, you jammed out with, and a couple shows here and there kind of came up with Prince, and so it's a little harder for me personally because I knew the guy who's a colleague, so it just brings me back to what I always think about Prince when I was at the Paisley Park one night. We were just jamming out. We had a jam circle going, actually, and Prince was on the piano. And he was dialed up. He was a smooth cat, and he was dressed to the T. He was on his piano. I was rocking a little bit of the blues harp. I had, it wasn't a G, but let's pretend this isn't a G, and I was doing stuff like... And like he had some sort of funk undertone, and then in a beanbag chair was Eddie Vedder. And actually, that's how I met Eddie Vedder, through Prince. He was over there one night. They knew each other, and we were jamming out and stuff. And and as things kind of cooled down on the jam circle, and Eddie did whatever I think he was, well, I can't even talk about it, but he was between you and me, and sticking his dick in a loaf of Wonder Bread. And I said to Prince, I said, I wouldn't eat any Wonder Bread in this house. But anyway, he said to me, Chernesky, I want to tell you something, but don't tell anyone. And I never did until now that he passed. He said, I've never had sex with anyone before. And I said, you got to be kidding me, man. You read all these songs and about these really sexual songs. At least that's what I thought. And he said, yeah. He goes, those songs are all about sex. And I said, okay, good, because when I hear some of them, that's what I was thinking, is that these are about sex acts. And he said, they're all about sex acts, but I've never done those sex acts. And I said, why? And he said, I'm afraid I'm never going to have sex. And I said, why won't you have sex, man? It's, fun. And he said, I'm afraid my butthole will prolapse if I have sex. And I just looked at him, and I said, what? Unless you're getting penetrated, man, your butt isn't going to fall out. You're not going to prolapse. Because I went to health class. I had just taken health class at the time, and we had learned about how the butt works. And I said, you're not in danger. And he said, nah. And he said like that, and how he talked. Nah, I'm afraid I'm going to thrust so hard into a woman that my butt will fall out the other end. And I looked at him, and I said, my mind was blown, man. And I never forgot that. Even now, every time I have sex, every other thrust or so, I think of Prince. And I worry, is my butt going to fall out? Because I'm as powerful like he is. And it's just really, it really stuck with me that, it stuck with me what he said about that. And when I heard the news yesterday, since I knew him, I know you guys out there didn't. You're maybe just fans or looky-loos or whatever's. Because I knew him, immediately wondered, well, how did he die? And I know you wouldn't think like that. You'd probably think like, where can I buy Prince stuff? But I was like, oh man, he's dead. How did he die? Because I worried, maybe it was prolapse related, and they won't talk about it. And that kind of alarms me because, I want to carry on his legacy, and I don't know what to do these days. So he was a powerful artist, and I'm gonna miss him on a personal level, unlike all of you. And I'm gonna keep slamming it on the DL, but I'll always have Prince in the back of my head during my tantric 10-hour session. So let's all take this moment, remember, and Chernesky out.